Unfortunately, if you want to eat Breudher, then somebody has to die. It's not the most pleasant thought. Breudher basically is a kind of bread. It's much heavier than the usual bread, and there's no crust at all, unlike bread. And it would be almost creamish in color, and sultanas were the main fruit used for the preparation of Breudher. And certainly one of the tastes that lingers in my mouth is also the taste of nutmeg, because if you didn't have the flavor of nutmeg, it really wasn't Breudher.
When my mom used to make it, toddy was used instead of yeast. But now, as it's very difficult to get toddy, we use instant yeast. It's like in powder form, and it's put into the flour with the salt and set aside. In another bowl, we mix the wet ingredients like the butter and sugar and eggs, beat it up and then add it to the dry dish. And if you want, you can add a few raisins, just to make it look pretty.
And to make it rise, they used to keep it out in the sun, covered with a cloth. And I can't remember my mother ever preparing it at home. The reason being, we had friends in the bakery business, the Rosarios of Broadway, Ernakulam, who came up with the most unbelievable, Breudher. So every time we wanted it, or every time they were baking it for somebody else, they would send us a couple of loaves. And we literally thrived on it. We could eat it 3 meals a day without a problem.
When I was a little toddler, my mother used to serve it on and off in place of bread. My grandmother died in 1973. At that time, I was in Bahrain, as we were living and working there. My sister said that my mother had made Breudher for the 7th day ceremony, and it was the best they had eaten.
Again, there was a tradition that Breudher was customarily served on the 7-day service of somebody's death. And of course, you'd have the Breudher with a big dollop of butter on it, and it was always accompanied by a banana. Now, I don't know where the banana came in, but that was the tradition.
Along with the Breudher, we offer a sandwich, a puff, a greenskin plantain, maybe a cutlet would come along with it, and a biscuit. This is served after the mass.
There were a couple of bakeries in Fort Cochin that also used to make Breudher. One of them was Barrett Bakers. They had a bakery in Peterselly Street. I think they closed down maybe 30, 40 years ago. But they used to make a reasonably good Breudher. I was in a boarding school, and when some of my friends whose parents were abroad, they came to stay with us, and we introduced them to Breudher. Now, even after 50 years, they still talk about it.